Good afternoon, friends. That Gaming Author here, and welcome to Thursday, May 13th, I think it is. Yeah, 14th, 15th. Wait, no, I think it's the 12th. Today's the 12th. And, yeah. I was gonna play a game, but yeah. That won't be happening anytime soon, unfortunately. It's okay. I've been getting a bunch of writing done on the plus side. I am officially 21,000 words into the 5th Black Crystal. And yeah, if you hear screaming, that's a YouTube video going on in our bedroom. But, yeah. I got a lot of writing done today. I am still on chapter 5. Yeah, I'm on chapter 5. And it's going well. It's from a perspective I've been wanting to write from for a while. Well, not for a while, but it's from a perspective that I feel like is appropriate for this part of the book. So I'm actually kind of amazed at how far the book is right now, or how many words we have while the story is still just beginning. Like I said before, this feels like the actual fantasy epic that I've been wanting to make Black Crystal into. Because the story feels like it's paced perfectly, because it's not too fast or too slow. It's just kind of right perfectly where it's supposed to be. And that's what I've been hoping it to be. And I'm looking forward to seeing where else it leads. So yeah, I'll probably be writing more once I'm done recording this, because downloading that update file is going to take a while. And my goodness, that screaming is actually kind of annoying me, to be honest. But yeah, I'm happy with what I've done today. Made a fair amount of progress. Done a lot. I didn't wake up early today, though. I woke up very late, actually. I didn't actually wake up until like 10. I woke up early enough to give the cats breakfast, and then that was it. And then I crashed again, and then didn't wake up again until 10. Then didn't actually take a shower until 11, and then didn't brush my hair until like 15 minutes ago. And now it is 3:33, so pretty, not late in the day, but it's, we're getting through the day. I got a lot done today, though, so I'm happy with that. I'm listening to peaceful stuff while writing, so that's probably what I'm going to go back to. And I've also been listening to the Ghost Hunter Adventure Club, The Secret of the Great Chateau, or whatever it's called. The book written by Dr. Cecil H.H. Mills. And it's actually really good. I'm surprised about like just the quality of writing and how smart some of the jokes are. Like it's a very smart book, I guess is what I should say. It's like for who wrote it, or you know what, no, I'm not even gonna say that. It's like I feel like it is kind of what you'd expect from who wrote it. Because I mean he's a smart person in general, and you know, you can tell he took the book seriously, but not too seriously. So it's like the perfect balance, and I'm loving it. It's a fun story, and I'm looking forward to listening to more. I hope to eventually own my own physical copy of it too, because I'd love to actually just get my hands on it and read it. But audiobooks are still nice in like their own way too. I love audiobooks. I haven't really listened to them in a while, but that book was actually what got me to resubscribe to Audible, so now I have my library back and I can start getting like one free book a month again, so I'm excited about that. Though I will eventually want to start just getting books in general. Audiobooks are pretty pricey, but I feel like they are worth it for what you get out of it. It's like, Treble's scratching my jeans. I feel like books are worth the price. Like, books, video games, most forms of media are worth the price you pay for it. If not all, to be honest. I feel like the only time a piece of media isn't worth the price is if it's spreading some sort of hateful rhetoric or something like that. But everything else, you can get something incredible out of it. It's like, you know, in every story you find, there's some inkling of wisdom you can take out of it. And that's the important part of media, I think. That's the important part to think or to consider about every piece of media. I'm always one of those people who, like, 90% of me is just in the media to enjoy it, and then there's that 10% of me that's like kind of looking for something to take out of it. And almost always, I find something important to take out of whatever it is I'm getting into, whether it's a book, a new game, or a movie, which I don't really partake in very much. I don't really watch things in general, but I always find something to take out of it. Like either a very positive message or a lesson to be learned from something negative that happens. There's always something to take out of it. And that's my preachiness for the day. Yay. No guarantees I won't be preachy later, though. But yeah, I'm probably going to continue waiting for the update and play Trails of Cold Steel because I'm in the mood for that game right now. It is nighttime now. Figure I should probably aim the camera this way so that way the light actually hits my face. And yeah, it's dark behind me because it is evening. 8:49 to be exact. And this is the beginning of a segment I kind of want to start doing throughout these vlogs. Maybe daily, maybe not. That all depends on how I feel according to the day. But, you know, my username is ThatGamingAuthor. You've seen that part, you've seen the gaming part. And I talk a lot about writing, but I've never really shown the result of it. Like, I've done a few writing streams in the past, and you can probably find those on the channel somewhere. But I've never really actually shown much of my writing before. Now, I would have gone and found the physical copy of the book for this, but I can't, so I'm just going with the digital version. So, yeah. Every now and again, I just want to read a chapter or two out of the books that I've written. And, you know, provide a sort of different experience to either those who are familiar with the series or those who haven't read it before and maybe aren't sure if they want to or not. You know, this is for you if you just feel like listening to the story, almost like an audiobook in a way. So, this is Black Crystal Book 1, The Origin, the beginning of the series, as is indicated by the name. And this is the revised and extended edition, which is the one I released a few years back, I think. Because I originally released it in the end of 2016, and then I did like a redone version of it, where most of it is basically the same, but the entire first act was completely revised and extended, again, as the title indicates. So, with that, I think I will read the prologue and the first chapter to you guys. Prologue. Princess Lenora. How many days had passed since leaving home? Young Princess Lenora had no idea. All she knew was pain, cold, and fear. Days, potentially weeks, had passed since her pursuers first took chase and forced her from her home. She was hiding among She was hiding among thorny thickets in a forest far from the last settlement she'd stayed in, wherever it was. Her legs were scarred and bleeding. She had to tear the bottom of her white skirt off and wrap them around her wounds. Softly, she sobbed in the silence of nature around her as she watched her pursuers pass by. There had to be hundreds of them, she thought. Her vision was blurred with tears. Pain clouded her mind. Sitting in the thicket was the first respite she'd had in a long time. Her heart was pounding faster and faster as she watched her pursuers. None of their faces were familiar. Were these even the pursuers she encountered back home? Lenora didn't remember. At that moment, all she wished for was the peace and quiet of sleep, for her pain to be gone, to not be alone anymore. It was broad daylight by the time she found her way into the forest, and the sun was already nearing the horizon again. Lenora's heart skipped a beat. Soon it would be nighttime again. Another sleepless night running from an unknown enemy. Pulling another twig from her thick black hair, she looked back out from her hiding spot. The band of pursuers seemed to have passed her hiding spot for the time being. Holding her breath and stopping her tears, Lenora slowly stepped back out of the thicket. She could hear her own heartbeat in the silence of the fast-approaching evening. It grew faster as her feet touched down upon the grass beyond the thicket. The sky seemed to grow darker with every passing second. Lenora found herself unable to control her breath. She let it out in a sharp gasp and immediately regretted it. A single straggler further to the east heard the sound, his head turning around faster than any humans ever could. Lenora gasped again, breathlessly this time, as she saw his piercingly yellow eyes. The man's lips curled into an inhumanly wide grin, revealing razor-sharp teeth as he spoke in a low growl, his voice seeming to echo against the wind and the rustling of leaves around them. Lenora felt her heart stop at the man's words. "Found you." The air in the forest had grown thick with fog. As the evening gave way to night, light was dispelled by the darkness. Goosebumps covered Princess Lenora's numb skin. Trying to catch her breath was becoming a taxing ordeal as she ran, but still, she ran. She ran as quickly as she could, regardless of the blood dripping from her body, regardless of the aching in her muscles, the constant spasms in her legs that sent immeasurable pain through her body with every step she took. Lenora didn't bother to turn back. Wind whistled in her ears. She could no longer hear the footsteps of her pursuers. Even so, she did not want to risk turning around. Taking as deep a breath as she could muster in the thick fog, she pushed on. Her legs moved on their own. Her legs moving on their own, she followed the trees of the forest. Something pushed her in the southern direction. Was it instinct? A god's interference? Necessity? Lenora no longer knew. Lenora no longer cared. Based on the persistence of her pursuers, it was life or death, and that was all that mattered. Moonlight glistened through the leaves of the treetops, casting a white tint in the late-night fog. Lenora watched her own blood drip from her lips, her cheeks, and even her feet, but she couldn't give up. She panted desperately, her tongue dry and cracked, her throat closed up and parched, her stomach growling and begging for food. "Why persist?" a voice in Lenora's head said. "Death awaits you no matter what you choose to do." "No," Lenora whimpered. Her eyes filled with tears as she ran, clouding what little vision she had in the darkness. She shut her eyes and wiped the tears away as they streamed down her cheeks. "No, no, no!" Wham! The world began to spin as a massive force struck Lenora on the forehead. She opened her eyes briefly, seeing her own blood on the trunk of a tree in front of herself, and it began moving away. The world itself looked as though it was moving, until Lenora felt her back collide with the ground. Lenora's stomach rose and fell quickly with her short breaths. Her feet blistered and in pain, her legs pulsating, her lungs moving so quickly they could burst. She was sure her death would be swift. Whether it was painful or painless, she didn't care anymore. Acceptance had taken its toll. 5, 6, 7 silhouettes surrounded her, all of them towering as large as the trees around her. Their faces were not visible, but she could see their eyes, some of them red, some of them yellow. Lenora took a deep breath with the last of her consciousness until finally, the world faded to black. I didn't realize the camera was kind of pointing downward there, but yeah, there's that. Well, I was probably going to read chapter 1, but this has already been pretty long. I underestimated how long it takes to actually read stuff out loud, so who knows. I'll probably save chapter 1 for tomorrow, but I hope you guys enjoyed that brief reading. And these videos might end up getting longer because the chapters only get longer. That was one of the shorter ones, to be honest, so yeah, look forward to that. Also, this is a good excuse to finally get me to read my own writing, because I never do that, to be completely honest. I just write my books, edit them very lazily, and then shove them out, because I just don't care about them. Well, I care about them, but I'm always ashamed about what I've done, because it's like, oh my gosh, what if I messed up? Which I do mess up. I mean, every author does. It's impossible to write a novel and not mess up something. But you know, it's just, I think me doing this will hopefully help me learn to accept my own mess-ups and just get past them and move on. Like, you can only fix so much. You can't make a book perfect. There is always going to be something in there that's messed up. Like, whether it's a typo or whether maybe it's just something worded that the author didn't intend on, something's going to be messed up, and that's okay. We're all human. We're not machines, despite what society wants us to think. Anyway, I think that's about the length I wanted this vlog to be honest. I didn't want to make it super long. The vlog from yesterday was really long, and you guys will see that on YouTube, but I kind of wanted to make today a little bit of a shorter one. But if you enjoy the book reading more, let me know. I'll start making it a regular segment on these vlogs. I kind of want to anyway, but I want to hear your guys' opinion. In that case, I hope the rest of your night goes well. You have a day, and I will see you all